It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. I want to thank everybody all over the world that actually subscribes and show me love for my show. And I'm giving it back to you guys, because without you guys, there wouldn't be no legends. In the House of the Legends, I have a radio personality. This guy's been around for a long time. He's done radio production, he's done musical production, and he's done a matter of things. And in the House of the Legends, I give you Michael, Mr.Excitement Jacobs.
All right.
Welcome to the Legends.
Thank you, man. Pleasure to be here.
So let's talk about the beginning for you, because you wear a lot of hats, man. And so we're going to go into the radio personality thing with you. So how did you actually get started with that?
Oh, man, long story. I'll try to keep it brief because it'll take 8 hours to explain.
Okay.
But myself and Funkmaster Flex from Hot 87, we grew up together. We went to high school together. I met him in 9th grade. And but our friendship really sparked. I used to work at the roller rink, the skate key in the Bronx.
Right, okay.
Major, big time roller rink back in the days. And he used to skate in there. So we kind of became friends. And eventually he was DJing in 9th grade and I was DJing too.
Okay.
But I kind of like gave it up because I was just trying to do other things in life. But it was him, because we knew Chuck Chillot from the area. We all grew up in the same neighborhood. Chuck grew up like 4 blocks away from me.
Okay.
Flex was like 6 blocks away from me. So
All
we
right.
was all around the same people. So as Flex started, kind of like moving on and progressing in his career, Chuck gave him the first opportunity. So Flex used to be with a group called Deuces is Wild. They had a record deal on Warlock Records.
Okay.
I think it was Suture and Warlock Records, and it was him and you remember 9MM. He was a part of that group under a different name, Ricochet. But long story short, they was doing promos for Chuck, and Flex was the DJ. So as they got a little bit popular because of Chuck playing the promos, they kind of like bring me in. So after that thing broke up with them, 9 went on and became a solo act. Flex got opportunities on BLS for a little while. People forget. People think he started on Hot 87. He actually started on WBLS with Chuck.
Okay.
Filling in for him this is like 1989, and he bring me in with him. So I was actually an intern for about 1.5 years on WBLS. That's when Lance Hayes and a whole bunch of people were still up there at BLS. Obviously, Dr. Bob Lee. So,
right.
That's kind of where I got the bug, just kind of like figuring out this whole radio thing. I was like, wow, this is kind of all right. And then when things didn't work out, they fired Chuck. One of the main times he got fired in his career, and they bring Flex on and gave him his own show for about 6 weeks. So I answered the phones, co-host a little bit, and that didn't work out. After that didn't work out, well, Flex was already still doing the clubs at that point, but then he got an opportunity to fill in for Red Alert. Anytime Red Alert went out of town on Kiss FM, Flex filled in for him. He bring me in with him. That only lasted maybe 6 months.
Okay.
And I think we started in Hot 97 together probably November of 92.
Okay.
And they bring me in for that. Ricky Ricardo, you remember him, was the air personality. We didn't even have a name of the show. It wasn't the Friday Night Street Jam yet. It was just, because they had just they were switching to hip hop from freestyle. So they was playing Cynthia and Judy Torres and all that stuff. So once again, I was a part of the show. I answered the phones. Everybody was calling to hear Judy Torres and Noel.
Right.
And they wasn't trying to hear no hip hop. But after about a month of him being on, it started picking up. And they really picked the show up, and then they named it the Friday Night Street Jam. So I was a part of that show, literally with Flex from like 92. I left for 98 and I came back briefly in 2002 because I wanted to do my own thing. Plus I was doing Street Funk TV right here at Bronxnet. And that show really got me seen a lot. But because Flex was always on MTV and BET, I was there with him. So people knew me from around the country just from being with him. But I didn't necessarily set out to be in the music industry. It's just something that, we're all music lovers and we're in the music. It just kind of like one thing led to another, and I was able to latch on to radio. But shortly after radio, I started doing television. And I still do TV now. I do a show called The Instant Classic. But the Street Funk TV show, we did another show called Live Music Channel. And that's what was on Fox 5. We did that for 2 years in 99, from 99 to 2001. So a lot of people around us. So we had to really, because they didn't want to show real hip hop on mainstream TV.
Right.
Russell Simmons tried to do it with One World Music Beat on Channel 4. Didn't really work. They was really watered down. They took our show, we edited it, and we were showing them all the big artists at that time, you know, Puffy and the Family, and Mary J. Blige. So we worked with them all, Leah when she was alive,
Right.
Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. So we worked with all those people. But right after that, I left Hot because I wasn't getting the opportunity that I wanted. And then I got into concert promotion.
Okay.
You know, so I started going to a lot of these R&B shows, seeing the Stylistics and Tavares and the Dells, and I was like, I want in.
Right.
It's a little bit easier to do that. I took my lumps. My first show was with Ray Goodman and Brown, Ted Mills from Blue Magic, the original lead voice,
Right.
and Russell Tompkins Jr.
Okay.
and the New Stylistics when he came back out of retirement.
Right.
So I've been doing it since 2004.
Okay.
So my company's called Excitement Worldwide Concerts, so we throw concerts all over the place. We did a bunch of shows at Lehman, you know,
Right.
right next door to where we're at right now, but also done some stuff in Atlantic City and a few things out in Philadelphia. So, you know, we're trying to come back and do some more things, and but that's kind of what I do now. Also run the franchise record pool.
Right.
Can't forget that. Flex started that in '96. He put
Right,
me in
right.
charge of that, so I was a record pool director. And I miss Bobby Davis to
Me
life.
too.
Bobby was a
And,
good dude.
you know, I'm still in Sure.
Right. And I'm gonna tell you something. Like
Right.
when Flex first started the record pool, the pool directors didn't like that at all.
Really?
Especially Bobby. Bobby wasn't feeling that because, you know, he used his fame to get on, and he told the record label, he said, look, give me the records for my record pool, or I'm not playing your music on the radio.
Right.
They started sending the records, and the rest was history.
You know, it's funny about the record pool thing, man. Like we just had a discussion about the record pools. We're going to bring it up a little bit further. You know, talking about how we're actually promoting records now and stuff. You know, how we're actually getting the WAV files and the MP3s, and how we're actually trying to put the new music out. We have a limitation about that. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, well, I think the thing is, as far as like promoting music, like
Right.
social media and stuff like
Yeah.
that, it's a Sony and Warner Brothers problem, but it's an ASCAP issue too.
Okay.
So ASCAP came after the record pools in 2019 because a lot of them didn't know record pools existed. And we was like, well, how the heck you don't know about record pools, and it's been around since 1974?
Yeah, definitely.
But we figured it out. Every songwriter, not every songwriter ran or owned a record company. People like Quincy Jones knew. He ran
Right.
Warner Brothers for over 40 years. Gamblin' Huff, Philadelphia International, they knew. Smokey Robinson, Motown.
Right.
Burt Bacharach owned and ran A&M Records. So,
Right.
you know, all
and
that's...
also Al Hurt.
Absolutely.
He
that's
owned
right.
it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So for those small, not that small people, but just that small set of people that work
Right.
for ASCAP or BMI, if you never ran a record pool, you never really realized how the record labels were marketing and promoting your music. And that was kind of what pushed the whole disco era up back in 1974. I think one of the first songs that went to the pools was Bad Luck by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes.
Yeah.
And shortly after that, the Salso stuff, you know, Double Exposure, First Choice. It
Well,
started
you
going to
know,
the pools.
when the pool started, when I first started really acknowledging pools, it was RDRC, Disco,
Right, that's
Disco
right.
Den,
Yeah.
back in the days. And only thing I had with that was that when I was in RDRC, we wasn't getting the same product like everybody else was. Because as soon as I go pick up my stuff and I'm compared to the other brothers, and I'm like, why is he getting all this and I'm not getting that and stuff? You know what I'm saying? And so from there, I went to Decade Movement, which was actually Brooklyn's #1 record pool that ever existed in Brooklyn. And then from there, I went to Shure. I never had a problem after I went to Shure because I was getting everything, so I was satisfied with that. So what, in your heart, what made you actually take this whole thing seriously to the point where you wanted to be where you wanted to be at?
You know what? I just did a few documentaries of people was doing documentaries on me and what I do. And I always said it's all about opportunity. Because sometimes, you know, you search for opportunity, you may not get what you want to
Right.
do, but you kind of like carve your niche and you kind of figure it out. So opportunity bring me into the music industry. I wasn't looking to do that, even though I was a music lover. My mother had all the records, you know, so it really wasn't that. It was just getting an opportunity. So one opportunity led to another one and led to another one. And the record pool thing just came out of nowhere, but we still didn't think we'd be here this long. So we went from a vinyl pool to a digital pool. And the one thing about my email address, like people still laugh at me, I got a Hotmail. But the reason why I kept it is because all the major labels have my email as the official email of the franchise record pool. So whatever when you're on their mailing list, you're gonna always get the music no matter what. But the Sony stuff you can't put on the pools. And this is why, like, all the DJs out there that may play on social media, you can't play anything Sony, you can't play anything Warner Brothers.
Right.
Universal's about to kind of like go in that same thing because they're pulling their music off of TikTok because they want royalties. So like if you own TikTok,
Right.
they want the person that owns that to pay royalties to get it. That's why even like a lot of people doing podcasts now, you can go live on YouTube and you get your live shut down because of the royalties.
Right.
YouTube's they're not going to pay the royalties, they got to shut your live down.
My question to you was that even though artist was actually putting out production, you think the videos was actually giving them a better exposure as far as sales?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so you can go back to 1991 here in the Bronx. Like, we didn't have cable until like 91, 92.
Right.
So, you know, all we had was Video Music Box, and, you know, we had Carlos de Jesus with Hot Tracks.
Right.
You know, we had a few of those video shows we can watch, but we didn't realize that a lot of these songs and these videos was out because we didn't have cable. So Ralph McDaniels, as great as he is,
I was just going to ask you about
Ralph,
that.
the great Ralph,
Yeah.
we love him, was able to get these videos from the labels and show what was really going on, that we really couldn't see the visuals. So the
Right.
visuals, everything at this particular point. You know.
So let's talk about the business aspect of it from now to then. Now, this has been a big transformation as far as this business aspect of it. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, as far as marketing and promoting music right now, this is why a lot of artists are not making money. You can't make money from streaming because streaming is not a physical copy.
Okay.
So when you bought a CD, or just say, for instance, you bought an album, just say it was Sheila E., you know, or Melba Moore. And Melba Moore's putting out albums all the way now. She's independent.
Right.
And what I've been trying to tell a lot of the artists that's going the streaming route, they're never going to make the money. The streaming companies are going to make the money. So unless people go back and buy physical copies, the artists can't make money. Like Snoop was just talking about this recently, I think last summer on social media.
Okay.
He's saying, they're telling me I got billions of streams. Well, how come I don't have billions of dollars? Who's making the money? The streaming companies are making the money. So if you eliminate the streaming companies and you go back to buying CDs or MP3s
Right.
and vinyl, then, you know, they can still make their money. The problem is with the music industry, they dropped the ball. When they went from vinyl to CD, you never could buy the clean version. You had to buy the explicit lyrics.
Oh, okay.
So think about it. If you ever bought CDs and you bought an album, it was always the dirty version. You couldn't buy the
Always,
clean
yeah.
and sell it. MP3, same thing. You can go to iTunes right now, Amazon. You buy a rap song, it's explicit lyrics. You can't buy the clean. You can't buy instrumental. You can't buy an acapella. So you couldn't do mixes without the ammunition.
Okay.
This is what the issue is. So if they go back to vinyl or they go back to CDs, the music industry would make the money they made back in the days. But because of YouTube, you can go to YouTube and download music all day long. So the people have no incentive to buy the music, so the artists don't make money.
Okay. My question to you is, do you think that the music actually affects the political officials in a sense?
Yeah, but that thing has always been like that.
Okay.
You know, but then, because I mean, you still have positive music out today, but if you're going on the trap side, and I'm not here to disrespect the trap music, it's kind of like See the Lord Sucking them back in the days, disrespecting hip hop with Ice-T and them back in the day. So you got to embrace the music, whether you like it or not. If it's selling and everyone's making money, it's cool. But I think the people that's suffering are not so much the record companies, it's the artists, because they're really making money from doing concerts and performing. They're not making money from sales because you're streaming the music. So you can have 900 million streams,
Right.
and out of 900 million streams, maybe get $3,100. How are
Okay.
you making a living recording music if you're going to people on the streaming platforms? If you stay independent, you can still sell the physical copy and make that money. So if you sell 3 million albums, you know, you're making millions of dollars. So that's like the only way to do it. Streaming is not the way, but this is what they're forcing down everybody's throat.
You know, from the 70s to the 90s, do you think there was a racial barrier as far as the R&B and the hip hop society?
Yeah, let's put it this, it was, but you know, like, I think if you was a big artist back then, you was on TV, you was on Soul Train, you was on American Bandstand, you was on the Midnight Special. If you made it to that level, you was on TV all the time.
Right.
It didn't matter if you was white or black. I think good music is, if you love the music, you go out and support it. Now, because you can get it for free, you know, to a certain degree, nobody's making money. And this is kind of why they're introducing all these different laws. And like I mentioned before earlier off camera, I said, if you live on the West Coast, a lot of the DJs that play at public venues, you need a DJ license now. It's like having a driver's license. If you get caught without a DJ license in certain places down south, They can sue you up to like 25
Really?
bucks. They can't even hire you without a license.
Is that corresponding with the FCC as well?
Yeah, ASCAP, BMI, all of them. So what it is they're trying to make money in ways they never made money before. Like, how the heck you don't know 50 years record pools have been around?
Right.
How is that?
I'm sure they do.
Well, you know what it is? I think they didn't care either because everybody bought music back then
Right.
in the 80s and the 70s and the 90s. When people stopped buying music, that's where it was a major issue. So you start realizing, well, how are people doing remixes and we don't sell instruments and acapellas, not realizing record pools give you that. That's what it was like, what the hell's a record pool?
Right.
50 years later.
I think what it was, technology has a lot to do with it. You know, as we upscale from vinyl to CDs, MP3 files, WAV files, we didn't have none of that back in the days and stuff like that. So as far as trying to put it out there, you know, it was a whole different concept. You know, so now we're talking about the monetary thing of it, which is a whole different game right now. You know, but if you had it in your power to actually turn the whole thing around into a monetary cipher, how would you actually go about it?
You know what? I'll try to answer that question the best I can because I'm not in that situation. I'm not an artist.
Okay.
But I think, be honest with you, I think it's going back to the physical, because when you buy something, you want to kind of keep it forever. So let's say you're paying for a streaming service. Right? You download all this music, but as soon as you cancel your membership, that music disappears because it was never physical. So why buy it?
Right.
Why support it? Now, you can pay for Apple Music all day long and listen to all those songs. You can turn the radio on. You can go to YouTube and listen to songs, your own personal collection. So when you're streaming music, it doesn't really benefit the artists. It benefits the record companies and the streaming companies. So I'm all about the artists. You know, like our favorite artists that like our good friend James D. Train Williams. You know, when you go buy his music, you want to buy his music. You don't want to just stream it, because you can stream it, but James is not making really money for that.
Right.
Not a lot anyway. He may make a little bit.
James is making a lot of money doing concerts and live.
Oh yeah,
you know. But when he first came out on Prelude, it was like everybody was buying it. You know, vinyl was the thing back in the days. I mean, everybody. It's
kind of making a comeback a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, everybody was into like Jimmy Music World and different other record, you know, stores and stuff like that. And I mean, I've heard of people that spend up their rent money just to buy vinyl.
Oh yeah.
And that's when they was actually making money. But like I said, technology has a lot to do with the concept of how things are really going right now. But we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. And stay tuned.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house. It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
My assignment, my calling is to inspire, uplift.
You have to make sure your people are partying.
All I want to do is just bring joy to the dance floor and watch people dance.
Tino. Returns to Lehman Center for another year. We do it all the time. Joining us with a preview, we have Michael, Mr.Excitement Jacobs in the house.
Bob, always a pleasure to be here with you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you put on these fantastic shows, and it's always a good time when you get a chance to come and step up to the plate and check out some of these artists that have made history, basically.
Absolutely, and no one knows better than you. You broke all these songs on the radio on WBLS over the years. So
Yeah.
what I want to do differently with this particular concert at Lehman Center this Saturday, October 26th, is peer artists that were really, really big in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. So that's a little bit different. So we included acts like CeCe
Got a little mix
Peniston.
going on, yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be a great show. So, you know, whether you're 35 or you're 75, this is a show to come out to and show honor to these legends.
So you have CeCe?
CeCe
Who else is
Peniston.
going to be there?
We have Tavares. From Canada, we have Miss France Jolie. We have a group that used to be on South Soul Records, Moment of Truth, and they're out of New York City. You have Sharon Brown, who's originally from the Bronx. Fonda Ray, over like a
Fonda.
And I'm a big
And we're back. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. And in the House of the Legends, I have Michael, Mr.Excitement Jacobs. Let's talk about your show, man, and what did it actually represent and what did it actually symbolize?
I mean the concerts or the television show?
The television show.
Well, in the beginning, it was hip hop, but we was so lucky to get so many A-list people on, like professional athletes, movie stars, TV stars. We was just in the right place at the right time. We worked in the Palladium every Friday nights from '93 to '97 when it closed, and we did the Tone nightclub on Sunday nights from '94 to a close in 2001. So you can imagine anybody who came through there, we got them all on.
Right.
That's early Wu-Tang, LL, you name them, we got them on. We was just blessed to be at the right place at the right time.
And tell the viewers at that point, what was actually your marketing strategy as far as promotion?
It's funny. We didn't really have one. We just knew that these artists were going to come in. And after a while, like when Flex took it over in '97, the marketing promotion, and we knew who he was going to book. So he was smart because he would always book an act when they had an album coming out the next day. Usually when albums came out, it came out on Monday, Monday morning, Monday afternoon. So whether it was a Missy Elliott or Aaliyah, Jay-Z, those type of people, he'd always have them come through and perform.
Right.
And so we were the only ones exclusively who were able to shoot the shows, and we had like 3, 4, 5 camera angles at that time. We're still using VHS at that time.
Right.
But the angles still came out really decent, and we were transferring and stuff. So we have all that stuff in our crate and everything. But big shout out to DJ Mellow Mike Hype, who started Street Funk TV and gave me an opportunity to be the host. And it wasn't just me; it was my man Rich Rowland, who was in the office or in the studio, DZ, Sharu. There was a bunch of people that worked with Street Funk, but I was the main host. And once again, that was my thing. The Palladium, I missed the hell out of that place. That was a beautiful place.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And in the Tunnel nightclub on Sundays was a lot of fights, a lot of crazy stuff went on in there.
Oh yeah.
The co-ed bathrooms, which was really, that was something else. I hadn't been to co-ed bathrooms since I was in nursery school, so it was something else in there.
The artists today, how do you feel that they're actually being treated? I mean, are they a little bit more top-notch than the old school, or are they going through some poverty as well right now?
I believe so, unless they're doing shows. And I think the part of the reason is, I think, because the average person is not buying music. I think that's really what it comes down to. People bought CDs, they bought cassette tapes, they bought vinyl, and it was a different era where you had to buy that stuff. There was no social media back then. So now they can come on social media and promote. It still doesn't mean people are going to buy and support your songs. If they like it, they'll still just go to YouTube and download it for free. And that's part of the problem.
So, Michael, what's your current events, man? What are you getting ready to get into?
So,
tell the viewers.
Working on some new concerts. I'm not going to say who, but like I said, I work with so many people, and I'm probably the only black promoter or person of color in the Bronx that do disco concerts.
Okay.
And the reason why I changed it from R&B Legends, I started doing Legends of Disco because.
You ever work with Al Albano?
Al who?
Al. Fever Records. What's his name?
Sabatello. No, we known Sal for years.
Right, okay.
No, but we go to his shows, like we support his shows and things like that. But we work with a lot of the same people. I never worked with the freestyle artists yet, though. But I work, like I said, First Choice, Double Exposure, Tavares.
Right.
So many people. I mean, I didn't forget sometimes.
Do you feel the old school sells a little bit more monetary than the new school now?
And
really?
the reason why is because when you come out to a classic show, like a old school R&B show, you don't got to worry about fights. You don't have to worry about getting shot, getting stabbed. It's senior citizens coming out having a great time. You go to one of these parties now, you don't know if you're getting shot, stabbed, or whatever. It's just it's a bad situation. I don't reflect that in the music, but I think what makes you feel good, the stuff that we grew up listening to, the things that we're a part of, we're never gonna not go to those shows if we're able to do that. And I think that's really what keeps them going. And like I said, Russell Tompkins still performing.
Right.
Late 70s, it's amazing. Tavares is still out there performing. Big shout out to all the brothers from Tavares.
It's funny that you was talking about the promoters. I just happened to be talking to Elmo, the Magic Christian, about 2 weeks ago. And we was talking about, I'm not going to leak it, but I got something for you guys coming up with the old promoters, man. And when you see these guys now compared to where they were before, they got a lot of history, man. Elmo, you still owe me some money, man. I ain't going to forget. You know what I'm saying? When you come to my show, I'm going to give you my router and my account number. So you're gonna hook me up.
I met Elmo when I was doing my first disco show in 2018 out in Coney Island. He was out there for, I think, Legendary Ladies of Sky was performing out there, and I was giving out my flyers. So he was like, "Is that your show?" I said, "Yes, my show." He said, "I can respect the promoter giving out his own flyers." I said, "Yeah, you gotta do that no matter what." But he's a really good person. I haven't spoken to him in a while, but I think I'll give him a call when we leave out the studio.
You remember the Best of Friends?
No, was that a promotion company?
They were like Bentleys. Those guys back in the days. Is this way before your time? Or?
Yeah, well, not way before it, but I didn't get into concert promotion in 2003. But I would go to these shows, and I was just, But like I said, I know Kevin Whitley, Sugar Daddy Whitley from Bentley.
I speak to Kevin all the time. He got the Inkwell.
Yeah, you just had Miss Chalet there last night.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So let's talk about some future stuff. What else is going on with you? I mean, you do a lot of things, Mike. And. Let the viewers know about something else that you do. Yeah, besides just getting into promotions and music and things of that nature. Right.
I think right now, we're about to bring the Instant Classic radio, really TV podcast back. We just shut it down in December. We was out in Newark, New Jersey. I'm not going to give them promotion, but Zay, who's Big Bang Hank's son, from Sugar Hill Gang.
Right.
He has his own studio out there. It's a beautiful studio. But they're using webcams. So
really?
Yeah, the webcams is almost like it's like a police surveillance camera. Like you grilling somebody and police go, "Hey, did you kill that person?" It wasn't working for us. So we're bringing up people like Gerald Austin from the Manhattans. We're bringing up Cliff Perkins and Soul Generation.
You were digging deep, yeah.
Yeah, we had Cynthia Horner from Right On Magazine.
Okay.
It looked horrible. So if it wasn't for us shooting with our own cell phones, it would have been horrible. So we said, "Can we bring our own cameras? We have our own cameras." He didn't want to do that, so we left.
Okay.
So we're looking at a few studios in Manhattan, and we're probably going to bring it back in April. But you can always follow me at Excitement Worldwide Concerts on Instagram. I'm on Facebook under Michael Mr. Excitement Jacob, so you can keep tuning to what I'm doing. But we do get a concert in the works probably sometime late this year, but I don't want to leak it out. But we're, if it's not late this year, it's early next year.
Okay. Mike, tell the viewers how they can actually get in contact with you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Once again, at Excitement Worldwide Concerts, my email address is excitement65 at hotmail.com. I'm still rocking Hotmail. I never went away from that.
Okay.
And they can hit me there on Facebook, Michael Mr. Excitement Jacobs, and I'll reply back, man. This business is all love.
And any shout outs to anyone that wants to say
yeah, like I said, Dawn Michelle Promotions, the Street Funk TV people, Mellow Mike Hype, Rich Rowland and his lovely girl Pam. Just our whole crew, Sino the DJ.
Right.
And obviously my partners Peter and Darren from Franchise Record Pool, which we're now FRP.live. And we carry all the music, hip hop, R&B, Afrobeat, and piano, house. Anything you need, we got it. You want to try us, you can go to FRP.live and sign up.
Well, it's been a pleasure and
my
an
pleasure.
honor, man.
Thank you
to
so
have
much.
you on my show, man. And don't be a stranger. Come back to the Legends.
I'll be back next week.
You know what And this has been another T-Love video production. And you guys follow Mike and give him some support, whatever he's brewing out there. And you guys stay tuned for another episode. Thank you.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.